In 2015, the U.S. Internal Revenue Service became a prime target for hackers. Last year alone, there were more than 1 million attempts to break into IRS databases. At one point, the personal information of 700,000 taxpayers was accessed, opening up data that could be widely used in financial fraud schemes. We spoke to cybersecurity experts about what makes the IRS so attractive to the dark side of the web.
They're trying to move into the new, digital age where they're making things convenient for people to access their information. And unfortunately, what we really need to look at is the design and the implementation of these processes before they go public.
The aging system, in addition to their centralized critical backbone infrastructure, makes them an easy target, not just for the cyber criminal who's interested in making a quick buck on tax returns, but the more advanced threat actors like China and other nation states that want to grab a foothold into an infrastructure that important to the federal government, so over time they can start to move around in those networks. We've seen advanced threat actors roaming around in networks like this for almost 7 years undetected. So it's a long-term game for the attacker, and they treat it very much like a business.
The marketplace is extremely active. There are communities online where people trade in this information. Databases of this information are exchanged back and forth. The information that can be gleaned from a tax return is everything that you would need to know about a person. Anything that you would need in order to then turn around and file a false report or open new lines of credit.
The motivation between the IRS attack may seem on the surface of things like a quick cash win for the traditional cyber criminal. There's 3 levels of escalation that occur. There are the intrusions that happen day to day, there's disruption of the data, and there's destruction of the data itself. Nation states like China, North Korea, and others tend to be interested in access to a network like IRS so they can pivot and move on to other networks of interest. The IRS itself is a very high-value target to the nation states if you think about the connections they have within the other parts of the government, and at the same time, the cyber criminals have a financial motivation because it's low-hanging fruit to be able to file a tax return and receive a significant amount of money back.
The cyber criminal threat is constantly evolving, and time is on their side. The government has acknowledged, just like private sector has acknowledged, that this cyber problem is uncomparable.
There needs to be an aggressive move, and we've seen that with the amount of funding that the current administration has put forth. The challenge here is, do they have the time, how fast they can move, and are they focused in the areas they need to focus on? Not to mention what they need to do around managing and securing the identity, access, and authentication of over 250 million filers that may be at risk.